Has anyone else found Neville and how other pundits talk about Sesko a little strange?
There's a confusion for me in the sense that sometimes his performances look like he looks very scruffy when balls get played into him. But the 2 goals he scored against Fulham and last night,
beautiful.
They're serious goals, those.
Yeah. After a last-minute winner at the Stretford end, negativity kind of still came before positivity.
Because he's had a real difficult time since he's come to the club. And Cunha and then Burmo just looked like Manchester United players straight away. So he looked like he was just playing a bit part role, but that will be so big for Sesko to score a winning goal at the Stretford end.
But I'm here to set the record straight about Sesko, the narrative around him, and how his first season at United is really going. Right, so I want to have a conversation about Benjamin Sesko in this video. I want you to get in the comments straight away. What's your take on his first season in a United shirt so far? What have you enjoyed seeing? What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? I'm going to give you my opinion in this video, back it up with some data and some facts, and you can let me know, as I said, what you think in the comments. But overall, I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen from Sesko so far in the United shirt, in his first season at the club. And I said it in the intro there, and I'll say it again. I think I found it really quite strange, weird even. Like Gary Neville's sort of conversations and talking points about Sesko. I was there at the Brighton game, in a game where he got a cracking assist for, I think it was in Burmo. And after the game, Neville was speaking about his lack of link-up play. I'm like, mate, I've just literally watched him link up fantastically. And I actually think his technical output's been pretty good, his first touch, the whole way through. I think the reason I find that Neville comments strange is because I look at what's happening with Ian Wright's comments on Gyökeres. And let's be honest, I think he would have more right to have more grievances with Gyökeres compared to anybody with Sesko because of the age and the expectations in the first season. But Ian Wright doesn't really do that. It's kind of it's very interesting to watch the different approach between Neville and Sesko and Wright and Gyökeres. It's just something I've noticed. But in terms of these three, right, they've all been successful signings to varying degrees. And again, going back to what Neville said, he was talking about how Cunha and Mbeumo look like United players. And like it almost feels like there's an unfair expectation. Like, of course, these two experienced Premier League proven players who were signed for, well, the money is irrelevant because you pay big money for players anyway, because Sesko was in that bracket. But he was also not a Premier League proven, ready star in the same way that these two were. So I think the expectations in that sense were unfair. But Francesco's output, of course, right now he's in the best form, I suppose, that he's been in the United shirt. But actually, it was prior to Fletcher even cut. No, not Fletcher, because he got 2 against Burnley. But prior to Carrick coming in, he had scored, 4 in 3 games? 3 in 2? I can't remember exactly what it was. But that moment against Fulham was his big moment so far. He followed that up with an outrageous finish against West Ham. And I actually think his output has been pretty good. And the finishing I've been impressed with, the movement I've been impressed with, the attitude I've been impressed with. I want to pull up this as an example, right? So this is from the game against Fulham. You see, United have got possession of the ball here. Ball is going to go down to Luke Shaw, right? Step 1. Step 2 is this situation here. Now, we actually saw this quite a lot with Højlund too. Luke Shaw could be swinging that ball in there to match Sesko's run. He's on the last line. You can see he's running at pace. He's got the bettering of those defenders, but instead, Luke Shaw, look where his head is. His head's facing this way. Sesko, hand in the air. Doesn't get the pass. But that run there is exactly the sort of run that we want to... That's where we're going to get the best out of Sesko. On the last line of the opposition's defence, on the shoulder, almost in the blind spot, using pace, using power. But he's been doing that a hell of a lot. And I've just been impressed. I've not really been concerned at any point. I'll be totally honest. Are there games and moments where Sesko could do better? Yeah, of course there are. Am I always going to be more lenient in the first season of any player at Manchester United? Yes, of course I will. It's just my default. It's how I operate as a United fan. You can operate how you want. But in terms of the numbers, because stats and facts help back up the eye test, right? Here's some for you. In terms of his output in a Manchester United shirt, these are United's top creators, and you can see there, Benjamin Sesko, on the right-hand side, in terms of goals or assists per 90, just off screen, let me pull this over, He is only bettered at Manchester United by Bruno Fernandes this season. That's an output. He's actually got a better goals and assists per minute ratio than Brian Mbeumo, than Mateus Cunha. Only Bruno on a per minute basis, because bear in mind, look, he's played a lot less minutes. Right? Sesko over there, just under 1,900, significantly less than anybody else. So actually his output has been matching those players around United. I've got around him at United and on the same level. And if we go over to the overall Premier League, you'll see a bit of a repeat of this pattern. Igor Thiago. So I've highlighted the strikers at clubs who are in their first season at their respective clubs. Thiago at Brentford, João Pedro, Hugo Ekitike, Calvert-Lewin. You've got Gyökeres down there, Voltemada, and you've got Sesko. I want you to focus on these, right? The goals per 90 column. Right? You've got Igor Thiago is there 0.69. João Pedro, 0.47. Ekitike, 0.59. Calvert-Lewin is doing a pretty damn good job. 0.54. Sesko, right slap bang in that category. 0.49 goals per 90 as it stands. You can see his numbers match up to most. Obviously, Igor Thiago is a little bit of a... He's out on his own, really. But João Pedro, 0.47. Pretty much bang on. Hugo Ekitike, a little bit better. Calvert-Lewin, a little bit better. The stats sort of back up what I'm saying and what I feel about watching Sesko. He's not like... Liam Delap's having an awful season. But Sesko is not. And one thing I was particularly impressed with Sesko was the attitude that he showed in those 3 games where he wasn't starting. The first 3 games under Carrick. It didn't seem to get him down. It didn't seem to use it in a negative way. And he definitely didn't use it in a negative way, because what did he do when he came off the bench against Fulham? Well, he banged in the winner that won United 2 points. What did he do when he came off the bench against West Ham? Well, he banged in the equaliser and gained United another point. 3 points gained in 2 substitute appearances from a player who I suppose has been overlooked from the start, but hasn't let that negatively affect him. I just wanted to do this video to, I think, praise Sesko for his first season so far. I still think there's more to come this season, by the way. There's plenty more to come. I've been impressed. I think he's settled well. I'm grateful for the fact that these two took more of the limelight, which gave him a little bit more time to settle in when he might have been getting used to his new surroundings. I like what I'm seeing so far. I think we're going to see more of it. I want us to start playing towards him a little bit more. I think we can always say that about any striker. As I said, you could say the same thing about Højlund. But Sesko is a significantly better footballer overall than Højlund is. And probably Højlund ever will be, really. Let's be completely honest. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I just want you to let me know what you think about him in the comments, because I think some of the narrative I'm seeing around from Neville just feels unfair, if I'm honest.